Yeah, you see that right there? It's manual, baby. Chad. Kidney shot.
Jake Paul can come 15-20% in regards to Anthony Joshua. He's a completely different specimen. Look, you'll see what it looks like when they stand next to each other.
If you are the guy that stands in between 6'6", 250-pound Anthony Joshua and $200 million,
yeah,
I'm sorry.
He's not gonna. I don't think he's gonna lose to you on purpose.
I don't want to be that guy.
Breaking. Anthony Joshua fired back at Jake Paul's disrespect by sparring 3 massive heavyweights at the same time. He controlled every moment, even dropping one of them clean, sending a message that anyone challenging his legacy will pay for it inside the ring. Turki Al-Sheikh, a major Saudi sports and entertainment figure, is also backing Joshua, reflecting the global respect AJ commands. He's making it clear that when Joshua meets Jake Paul, it won't just be a victory, it will dismantle Paul's inflated confidence completely.
Joshua, if he destroy him, it will be good for me. The headache of Jake Paul will go from my mind.
Eddie Hearn stresses that Joshua's sparring with elite heavyweights exposes the enormous gap between him and Jake Paul. Watching Joshua dominate bigger, stronger fighters proves that any tricks Paul brings are irrelevant. This isn't casual training, it's a warning of the punishment Joshua is fully prepared to deliver.
That many people around him that I wouldn't be surprised if he thinks he's got a chance against Anthony Joshua. You know, Jake, I watched him, Jake. You'll knock him out. Yeah. It's like, you know, but, you know, there's a difference between fighting Gervonta Davis, even Canelo Alvarez, and then fighting
The discussion highlights that while Jake Paul has been fighting smaller, less experienced opponents, Joshua has been grinding with top-tier heavyweights to stay sharp. This contrast exposes how unrealistic Paul's step-up truly is. Joshua's multi-opponent sparring shows he's on another level in power, preparation, and experience.
The fight was fixed.
Well, Jake Paul was supposed to fight Gervonta.
Now he's fighting, what's his name?
Anthony Joshua.
If Anthony Joshua loses this, the fight was fixed. Because now he's fighting a real fighter.
I'm surprised he's taking this fight.
Well, I think he's tired of people saying he's not legitimate.
Well, I mean,
and the
he's
whole
been
thing
fighting non-legitimate people.
Right, so
yeah.
the whole critique has been, you want to be considered legitimate? Fight somebody legitimate.
Right, because even the Gervonta fight I thought was not legitimate, because the weight class was so different.
Right.
Now, Gervonta's a beast in his weight class.
But
you're fighting someone way bigger.
That'd be like me fighting Gary Coleman.
Joe Rogan's comments reflect the brutality of Joshua's sessions. The way Joshua controls multiple huge opponents shows his power is destructive. One clean shot from him can change everything, proving that no awkward angles or trick punches from Jake Paul will matter once they meet.
Problems. That guy, he just has to touch you once.
Shit's going down.
He's so different than anybody else in the division. Like, he knocks everybody out. Everybody hits hard. They all hit hard.
But
that
shit
fucking
down.
dude hits hard.
Joshua's heavy sparring shows he can dominate fighters of every size. Comments about breaking faces highlight how seriously he treats these sessions. Jake Paul has never faced this level of physicality. Joshua's conditioning, precision, and power make him far more prepared than any opponent who underestimates him.
Weight, pro bout, 10-ounce gloves. AJ talking about breaking internets over faces. I think he meant to say breaking his face on the internet. Who knows? Maybe you can do both in the big 2025. But then you have the weight limit, 245 pounds, and people are automatically going to go, oh God, here's the thing.
Jake Paul's attempt to hype himself collapses next to Joshua's sparring realities. Joshua working against multiple giants proves his strength, skill, and experience are in a completely different league. Paul's stories and bravado mean nothing when Joshua has already handled far bigger and more dangerous fighters.
I can't believe how tall he is. My eyes were kind of going into his nipples and stuff.
You say this is the biggest upset that's going to be in boxing history, right up there with 42-1 with Buster Douglas.
Yep. And that's because I'm tricky. I'm sneaky and I'm fast. You know, I beat him in laser tag when we first met in Dubai. He didn't see me coming. I was popping around the corners, shooting him non-stop. eliminated him multiple times. I'm bringing that same energy.
Even Turki Al-Sheikh, a major influencer in global sports, openly supports Joshua, proving the boxing world recognizes his superiority. Joshua's training with heavyweight monsters has sharpened him like never before. Paul's confidence and gimmicks cannot compete with someone preparing at this level. This is not hype, this is dominance.
Right? I thought what 50-50. In this situation, I wanted 99-1. Jack Paul.
Duke McKenzie explains the huge gap between Joshua and Paul. Joshua's sparring with elite heavyweights proves his power and timing are devastating. Paul may have a strong reputation online, but in reality he's entering a storm he cannot handle. One clean Joshua shot could end everything for him.
Right, of his career, if he wants to get 100 million and not even break sweat, you know, you take the fight. Is it going to enhance his stock as the world's #1 contender? Not at all, because nobody's going to take Jake Paul seriously. But on the other hand, I don't even want to play devil's advocate. What if Joshua hurts this guy, seriously hurts this guy, and puts his...
Dana White points to the massive risk Jake Paul is taking. Joshua's sparring sessions show he is operating at a level designed to dismantle real fighters, not social media names. His control over huge heavyweights makes this fight look like a one-sided lesson in power and discipline.
Oh, Jesus. That's a fucking bad idea. That's a bad idea. But let me tell you what. A lot of people will watch that one.
Will you watch it?
Sure. You know what everybody's tuning in for on that one. I think everybody's going to get what they've finally been waiting for.
Michael Bisping highlights the separation between the two fighters. Joshua pushes himself against bigger opponents every session, refining his skills. Paul has never seen this kind of intensity. Joshua's preparation leaves him with almost no risk, while Paul is stepping into a situation that could expose him badly.
He was man enough. He was willing to test himself. He would prove everyone wrong, all his critics, like me. By the way, I'm not like out there on an island by myself. Everyone says the same thing, and he would potentially prove all of those critics wrong. Well, yeah, he would, maybe, unless there's some funny business, right? And for Anthony Joshua, as I said, this is kind of a lose-lose, right? Because if he wins, people are still going to say, well, you only beat Jake Paul, right?
Joshua's grueling sparring with massive opponents shows he is elevating his craft to unmatched levels. Each session pushes him mentally and physically. Jake Paul's gimmicks and hype fall apart next to Joshua's seriousness. Anyone watching can see Joshua isn't just preparing, he's perfecting himself. Ben Davison points out the danger Jake Paul faces. Joshua's multi-opponent sparring demonstrates a level of power and preparation Paul cannot match. Joshua's experience and discipline make him one of the most dangerous opponents Paul could ever face. This is survival, not spectacle. Spencer Oliver shows how badly Jake Paul is outclassed. Joshua's sparring with huge heavyweights proves he handles power and skill easily. He already dominated Francis Ngannou, a world-class mixed martial artist. Paul, by contrast, has only faced smaller names. The skill gap is enormous. Carl Frampton highlights the massive difference in ability. Joshua's heavy sparring proves he can end fights quickly with brutal precision. Paul's confidence cannot compete with real heavyweight experience. Anyone expecting a competitive fight is mistaken. Joshua's dominance is almost guaranteed. Gareth A. Davies breaks down the mismatch clearly. Sparring with elite heavyweights shows Joshua's size, skill, and ring IQ are far beyond anything Paul has faced. Joshua has controlled world-class opponents like Usyk. Paul, at cruiserweight level, has no realistic chance against a fighter like AJ. Derek Chizora's insight shows the confidence behind Joshua. Heavy sparring with oversized opponents proves Joshua can finish fights quickly. Paul has never dealt with this level of power or pressure. Joshua's timing, accuracy, and tactical strength leave almost no room for Paul to adapt. Looking at all of Joshua's intense sparring with top-tier heavyweights, it's clear Jake Paul is stepping into a situation far above his level. Joshua dominates massive fighters with precision and power, even knocking out sparring partners. Experts agree Joshua operates on a different plane entirely. Fans should pay attention. Joshua's dominance is as close to guaranteed as it gets.